All right, hello. It's about time to start the next community point and click game. Gonna be hitting up Broken Sword, The Shadow of Templars. So the reason this game was on my radar was because back in '96, when it was released, probably a bit after that, it was part of a demo disc. And on this demo disc, you could play for 10 minutes or something like that. And we would always try to see how far we could get in that 10 minutes. And that's about all I know about this game. Like, I know the answer to one puzzle, maybe. And after that, it's all gonna be blind Reno, so that'll be fun. I don't know how long this game is. It probably depends on how point and click it is. But in any case, we do have the next community game lined up, and we will show the trailer for that at the completion of this playthrough. So without any further ado, let's switch over to it and figure out OBS Live. So that's what you do. Alright. The trailer for the next game has spoilers for the next game. Well, it's in the trailer, so it doesn't feel like that spoilery, I guess. Alright, cut the music. This game has its own music, which you can buy. It's like in the main menu. Alright, so we're gonna play the director's cut. The original version comes for free with this game. But it's hard to capture on OBS. I was doing it earlier. This is not the scene I want. This is the scene I want. That's not the scene I want. This is the scene I want. First try. Alright. Yeah. So we'll see how this goes. We'll fix overlays and stuff if we need to. Checking the options though. See, you can purchase the music. Takes you to like a website, which is silly. Also, if you go into the original version, the menus for it are very interesting. Like for the volumes, they have, it's like an up and down slider, but it's like a circle button with a left and a right, and you can adjust how much audio you want on your right ear and left ear, and it's like, why? It's very interesting. Alright, so we're going to new game. I think it opens up with a cutscene. So here we go.
Paris, city of love, romance, and dreams. So they say. I used to say it too. But ever since that day, the day of the murder, I've always associated my beloved Paris with death.
Oh no. Okay. Oh, Crow's here. Free anime. We already got credits rolling. GG. News story. And original. This is a one-to-one recreation of Paris, I'm sure. I have not been.
I was at home having a bath when my editor called.
Collard, get your ass over to the Palais Royal
Whoa.
now. You got an interview.
Editors
Pierre
pushy.
Carchon. Yes, the Pierre Carchon. No photos, so leave your gear at home.
Okay.
He asked for you personally. Don't ask me why. Anyhow, this could be big, so if he makes a pass, don't forget. Just smile, say yes, and keep taking notes.
So charming.
It's like Archer
and so
a little bit.
very apt.
Yeah.
Pierre Carchon was a media king, a national hero, and one of the most infamous adulterers in Europe.
Whoa.
He and his wife Imelda were just one step down from royalty. Whoa, I hate mimes, but unless you humor them, they don't go away.
Oh, it is known. Well, thank you. You opened the door for me.
Here I was, the palace of the Media King and the Ice Queen. I pressed the doorbell and set in motion a chain of events
Oh,
which
angry.
would change my life forever.
Yes? What is it?
Madame, my name is Nico Collard. I'm here to see Monsieur Carchon.
Come up, we're on the first floor.
Oh. Mimes can't use ladders. They're supposed to mime.
Madame
Up.
Carchon, it's a pleasure to meet you.
Yes, I'm sure.
The Ice Queen was certainly living up to her reputation.
Oh, glass cutting.
Will you be staying for the interview?
Mademoiselle, I know little of my husband's business affairs, and I care even less. I certainly have no intention of watching him pore over yet another pretty little journalist.
Pretty. You're too kind, madame.
Whoa.
Ah, the talented and very beautiful Mademoiselle Collard. Such a pleasure to meet you at last.
Monsieur Carchon, I am honored.
Oh,
Gun.
I'm sure you are.
Call me Pierre, please. But I do not flatter you idly. I was a friend of your father. He was a great man.
My father, he never mentioned.
He and I were very close. And then his death. So tragic. I must...
Ah.
Imelda, your damned cat's in my study again. Another Ming vase, I suppose. Excuse me for one moment, my dear girl.
You journalists are getting younger each year.
Perhaps it's the rest of the world getting older, madame. That was no
Oh, no.
cat. My God, what? Monsieur Carchon?
Good sucker punched. What the fuck?
He's dead. I must call the police. You'd better stay here.
There was a man. It was the mime. Do you think he...
Well, I believe we can rule out suicide, don't you?
No wonder they called her the Ice Queen. She would have been top of my list of suspects if I hadn't seen the attacker myself. And if I hadn't come across a couple of murders just like this already.
Oh.
One of the most important men in Europe murdered. And here was I, Nico Collard, alone at the scene of the crime. Should I wait for the cops? Or start my own investigation?
More zoom.
It was a no-brainer.
It was a no-brainer. Whoa. Okay. Move the mouse pointer. Move the cursor around the screen to discover areas of interest, which will be indicated by an animating blue circle. When the pointer passes over an object with which you can interact, it will change to an animating icon reflecting the available action. Press the left mouse button to perform the action. Click on the briefcase icon to open your inventory and display objects. Diary. Question mark to get puzzle hints. Oh, puzzle. I don't need Twitch chat. I can just hit the question mark. Spanner icon to save and restore a game. Adjust settings. These icons can be found in the lower section of your screen. No face cam. I don't. I'll be sneezing and blowing my nose because allergies. Spanner. Roll credits. GG. Augmented, original, full screen. We're doing full screen. Save game. Now used. Alright. If you want bad advice, okay. Yeah, question mark. Murder. Oh, gasp. Oh, this is the tiniest of text, okay. Was there... That's what I was looking for. If there was a text option, it doesn't look like it. Okay, GG. Do need reading glasses. Also, I don't know any French, so this will be fun. Relaxing in the bath when I was disturbed by a phone call. Okay, so this is creepy mime outside Caron's apartment. Monsieur Caron or Mademoiselle? Is that the I don't know. Charming, the sound of a vase smashing. Yeah, why is this text like at 8 point? I'm beckoned as I walked it to he punched me. Knocked me out, I wrote as falling to the floor. Must get to the bottom of the story before the police arrive. Alright. Okay. Rip mobile viewers. The curtain's blowing, I see it there. And I saw the cut glass in the previous cut scene. That's why it's called a cut scene, because there's cut glass.
Mimes and guns don't usually go together, but I had an idea that this was no ordinary mime. I'd come across this murderer before, and written about him. The costume killer. At least that's what I called him.
Costume killer. Okay, so it does have text, but it's really small. There's a bobby pin here. I want to pick it up. Yoink.
It was one of my hair clips. My favorite, in fact. It must have fallen when I was knocked down.
You did get sucker punched pretty hard. Check the pulse. Check his suit pocket. Look.
I closed his eyes.
Oh.
It was the least I could do for the poor fellow.
I left my fingerprints on his eyes. I opened his eyes.
I opened his eyes. Best to leave the crime scene as I found it.
Okay. Let's rifle through the pockets.
Some people hate searching corpses for clues. Me, I'm okay with it. Reminds me of an old boyfriend.
What? Okay. What is this, Cheeto?
Carchon had been shot.
Shot, indeed.
In his pocket, I found a ticket stamped Bateau de la Conciergerie. Taking the ticket meant I tampered with the evidence.
Oh, no.
There was no going back now.
I mean, you fiddled with his eyes, so... Close the flap. No? Okay. It glues his eyes. Oh, okay. GG.
A bust of Pierre Carchon, humble servant of La France.
And then it tipped over.
A bust of Pierre Carchon.
Okay, it does repeat. No, it's different.
A small round piece of glass had been cut out of the pane. This was a professional job.
Ah, yes.
I didn't want to cut myself and leave blood on the glass. Call me old-fashioned, but I like to keep my DNA to myself.
That is old-fashioned. Okay, if he was cutting that to open this, why wouldn't he cut the pane down here? Amateur hour. Also, well, whoa! Okay.
The killer must have used a ladder to reach the window. He was long gone. Guess he folded that ladder up, popped it in his pocket, and took it with him.
That's how ladders work. Okay. Bookcase.
The bookcase was filled with obscure first editions.
Cool. I have 0 first editions. The animation and stuff looks fun so
Pierre
far.
Carchon again. His eyes seemed to follow me around the room.
He's got 2 busts of himself staring at each other. To use an inventory item on a background object, click on that item and hold the mouse button. While continuing to hold the mouse button, drag the item over to the hotspot. Release it. And it highlights with a gold outline. Okay. I just want to...
It was a boat ticket
Okay.
stamped Bateau de la Conciergerie. When I was a little girl, Papa used to take me on the Bateau Mouche as a treat.
Yeah, that text is super small too.
It was one of my hair clips. My favorite, in fact.
How about put it back in your hair? Ha! I don't wanna. Didn't wanna hair clip the bust. I'm leaving.
The police could turn up at any minute. Somewhere there were clues to the murder, and I needed to find them.
Okay. Also, this being the director's cut, this is not how the original game started. Apparently there's like 2 chapters before the original game, and where the original game started,
A Louis XIV table with an antique cloth. Imelda had taste. But hey, with a husband that rich, taste is easy.
that's where I've originally played 10 minutes of.
A medieval pageant. Original, no doubt. The tapestry must have cost a fortune.
So these people were hyper rich. Got it. Ooh, handkerchief.
I reckoned that cloth might just turn out to be useful.
So I took it. Oh, what is this?
Even my fingernail wouldn't fit into such a small hole.
Bet your favorite hairpin would, though. Oh.
Aha! Nico, you are just so damn good at this stuff.
Uh-huh.
Instead of comforting Imelda, I was ransacking her flat. Why? Because there was something going on here, and I had to get answers before the cops arrived. And hey, she'd been rude to me, so she had it coming.
Yeah. She was rude. Hide the evidence. Close? Nope. Don't want to close. It's a fun, false little, hiding thing. What is this?
A key. Maybe a safe key.
Okay.
The cloth was embroidered with an unusual symbol.
Oh, it's the Templars. We painting? Oh,
Imelda had talent, but I certainly wasn't going to tell her that.
just because she's the Ice Queen doesn't mean you got a Ice Queen.
It was a tube of acrylic paint. French ultramarine. Just the color I was after for my bathroom.
I'm sorry, I have to go. Someone is...
Oh, yeah, someone's stealing your paint.
Young lady, what are you doing? Oh, this paint. It's my favorite color.
For God's sake, keep the damn stuff.
Hold permission.
The tube of paint from Imelda's easel. French ultramarine.
Cool. Console. Leave. Supposed to talk to her. Did you call the cops?
Excuse me, madame.
Yes?
Oh. Okay. Who's this middle fellow?
I am so sorry for your loss, madame.
No, you're not. You're a journalist. Journalists don't feel sorry.
Not true.
We shall see.
they're animate talking down there, but not up here. Who's this guy?
How did your husband know my father?
Oh, okay.
I have no idea.
You didn't know him? Thierry Coulard.
Pierre knew a lot of people I didn't know. Most
That's
of
so
them
weird.
women.
Why? Why does it? Okay. They mime.
Why would a mime want to kill your husband?
Pierre had plenty of enemies. Half the husbands in Paris for a start.
Do we keep talking?
Why did your husband send for me?
Okay.
What did he want to discuss?
I have no idea. His business was his business.
Yeah, she said
He
that
never
already.
told you anything.
No, and frankly, I preferred it that way. This is quite a scoop for you. I suppose you're already inventing the headlines.
Just because I am a journalist.
Don't patronize me. You're all cut from the same cloth. Do you have any moral sense at all?
Oh. Devil horns or halo. Renegade for life.
I certainly don't let it get in the way of a good story.
I admire your loyalty to your profession.
The police will be here soon, madame. Is there anybody you would like me to contact? Family, friends?
No, I have no family. Pierre and I were... He was all I had, really. Not much, was it? The dutiful wife. That was my role. He never talked, never let me in.
I know one thing, madame.
What?
If you want to find out who killed your husband, then you let me do the job, not the police.
Oh yeah, hire
Why?
me.
How do I know I can trust you?
I didn't know there was a a good and evil system to this game. This is the Mass Effect prequel we've all been asking for, apparently. It's weird that they talk down here but not up here, but they blink up here. It's weird. I'd rather these portraits just go away.
Because you have no choice. The police will take weeks, in which time your own life may be in danger.
What?
Believe me, this killer has struck before, and he will strike again. Who is to know that you are not next on his list?
Wow.
I don't know.
All I need is a few more minutes to look around before the police come.
I think perhaps you do have a moral sense. Of sorts. You're not a very good liar, Nico Collard. And I share your low opinion of the police. Here, take this. It's the key to the drawing room next to the library at the end of the hall. It was Pierre's room. I rarely went in there. I couldn't. I was too scared of what I might find.
Look at us getting all these items already.
Thank you. I promise you won't regret this.
Point and click pro. This chandelier though. Hello. Telephone.
There was no one I needed to phone. Not until I had solved this case.
Yeah. The less who know about it, the better. Going to the library. Wasn't I in the library? That was the study. No, this is the drawing room. What'd you say? Yeah. Oh,
The door was locked.
Oh. How about now?
Now we were getting somewhere.
Way to go, Tic Tac!
Go. In. Fireplace. Chandelier. Cool looking photo and seat. Oh, there's a pig.
The painting showed the Cachons together, in love. As the poet said, the past is a different country.
There's
Or
a
did I read that in a fortune cookie?
thing here.
There was the very faintest of clicks.
Oh, click. Aha!
Behind the picture was a safe.
This is quite the safe co. Warrener. They make the best of safes. Put it in there.
The safe was locked. I needed the key.
Is this the key? Aha! Ba-da-da-da. It's cheese. What is this?
In the safe was some kind of artifact. There were strange symbols on its surface. It looked like the printer's blocks I'd made at art school. If there was one thing I'd learned about symbols, they are always
nuclear bomb.
important. But these symbols scratched into stone were impossible to read. I needed to find a way of printing them. At least the stone was round. But what could I use for ink? And what could I print on?
Well-
Sure, I was stealing, but I knew Imelda didn't know about the artifact, and Carchon was past carrying.
Oh, yoink. Well, you picked up some ultramarine. Because this is Warhammer 40k now. And you can roll it on the cloth. Or there's paper over here or something.
This wasn't the time for me to lie on the sofa doing my Marie Antoinette impression. Though it is very popular at parties, especially with gay guys. Don't ask me why.
Alright. I won't.
As expected, the desk was yet another priceless antique. Yawn. The blotter
Yawn.
and ink tray had clearly been placed with mathematical precision.
I'm gonna mess up this math. There's an elephant here.
My heart skipped a beat. It was a carved elephant. But not just any carved elephant. It had been made by my father.
Oh.
I knew for certain because in my apartment I had its exact twin, carved into a box he had made. So Carchon had known my father. They really must have been friends. I decided to take the carved elephant. It clearly meant nothing to Imelda.
Yeah. Just taking everything.
I didn't need a sheet of blotting paper. Not while it was blank.
Hint. Hint.
The paint would have just soaked into the blotting paper, but the idea was good.
Okay. See, I had a good idea.
No.
No. Oh, God.
Putting the paint straight on the cylinder would be too messy. The paint would go everywhere.
Okay.
The blotter was flat already. Rolling the cylinder across it would achieve nothing.
All right. Maybe I need something yet.
I didn't want to take the tray, but I knew that I could use it.
Oh.
I didn't want to take...
How about... Ah, paint tray.
I'd spread blue paint over the bottom of the tray. It was ruined. I was a very bad girl, but also quite a clever one.
All right. What's happening in this game? Yeah, roll it on. Just like the paint roller. Hey, Magnon, it's a
I
thing.
rolled the artifact in the paint
Oh.
until it was completely coated.
And then I rolled it
No.
on this.
Genius. The roller and the paint worked just as I planned.
Genius.
But what did it say?
It said, take this, please.
It was some kind of coded message. It read, sub judice. I may not have learned a lot as a journalist, but that was a term I knew well. It means a legal case that is before the courts. Below it was a sequence of letters that made no sense. I suddenly realized there was a connection between the boat ticket and the coded message. The boat ticket was stamped Bateau de la Conciergerie. The conciergerie on the Ile de la Cité, by the river, housed the ancient law courts.
Oh.
So, sub judice could in this case mean literally under the law courts, below the conciergerie.
Of course.
I was pretty sure I'd found all I could here. And besides, all this opulence was making me pine for my regular life of poverty. This was a huge story. It was also one heck of a puzzle with a lot of pieces missing. But I was going to crack it. And if I could just remember the name of that fancy prize you get for being an ace journalist, I was definitely going to win it this time.
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh. I'm the best journalist. Okay. It reminds me of those old, like, Batman and Robin movies where the Riddler is the, antagonist. And, like, one of the riddles he writes in the sky is, like, what goes up white and comes down yellow. And Robin's like, oh, it's an egg. An egg means life. That means he's gonna take the governor's, I don't know, wife. I don't know. It was real dumb, but yeah, this is locked.
Locked. Not surprising, really.
It's like, of course.
It was the beautiful elephant my father had carved. No.
No.
The cloth was embroidered with an unusual symbol.
Guess we just leave? I wonder if all this is being... Yes, it is all being documented like a good journalist. Should leave space for notes later. Oh, light switch. Fire switch?
I didn't need the lights on.
Oh,
It was light enough already.
okay. I'm out of here. Nico, out! Okay, bye. I found my first clue.
I couldn't leave without saying goodbye to Imelda.
Okay. Hey, I put paint in a tray.
Did you find anything useful?
I did.
This carving, do you know anything about it?
It was Pierre's. What does the statue have to do with...
Please, I need to know.
He was given it by a friend. Something to do with Africa.
He never explained any more.
No. But I think it was important to him. Always on display. Why?
It was carved by my father.
Oh, I see. I didn't know.
Imelda, I will do everything I can to find the killer.
Thank you, my dear.
And if the police ask,
Don't worry. You were never here.
sub judice
Nice.
was the key. I was going to have to find a way under the conciergerie. I decided to head straight for the quayside on the Ile de la Cité. If there was a way of getting under the conciergerie, it would have to be from there.
So this game came out on the DS as well, which is interesting.
Canchon wasn't the type for messing about on the river. He was up to something down here. Something that got him killed.
And I wonder if that's why those portraits are kind of there for that. There's a boat.
An old boyfriend of mine owned a barge once.
Cool.
Dampest relationship I ever had. In every way.
Bummer.
The conciergerie. Former royal palace, prison and law courts. And also home to the busiest guillotine in the French Revolution.
I feel like the DS had like everything on it though. like they tried putting anything and everything they could on that game.
It was
Or
the
that
old boathouse
console.
for the conciergerie. If I was right about the meaning of sub judice, then the answer had to lie somewhere here on the quayside.
Yeah, I'm gonna look around outside first. Oh, the symbol. It was around the backside.
The cross looked familiar. I'd seen it before. It was embroidered on the lace cloth I'd picked up at Carchon's apartment. I knew I was on the right track.
Ah, look at that water. Beautiful. The gate was locked.
I tried pushing the fence, but it wouldn't move.
That looked like pulling to
A
me.
strange pair of locks stopped the latches from releasing the gate.
Uh-oh. Puzzle time. Oh no. You must move the rectangular blocks so the latch can slide all the way across. So releasing the gate to open. Blocks move along their length, some vertically, some horizontally. Oh no. To move a block, click on it and drag it horizontally or vertically along the appropriate axis. Okay. Okay, so horizontal, I guess. We did it. GG. Oink. Have I already screwed up? Yum. Yum. This feels like a poor way to lock your gate. Just saying. I feel like I screwed up already. This is the stream now. It's gonna be me struggling to do this. I need... Can't be terrible if it's working. Yeah. Good point. Well. If we reset it. Gives me nice music to listen to anyway. I need... that don't work. I'm really just kind of like sliding things along. Need this guy to go away. I move this guy somehow. What happens if I do this? Does it reset? Yes. Yes, it does. All right, let's try the other one. Because if one wasn't enough, let's give him two. Need to get this one out of here. You need to leave. Go away. Did I just reset it? Oh god. Why they didn't tell you is that there are 3 more gates after this one? Oh, I hope so. Still need this guy gone. Gotta be secure, yeah. Okay, if I can, well, can't get rid of it that way. There you go. Why did I do that? I had a plan for that. I forget it now. Yoink. Yoink. Yeah, they're yoinkers. Okay. Got one of them out of there. Aha! Get wrecked. Side piece thing. How did that help me though? That's over there. Let's make the lock more secure.
Yes. One down, one to go.
Pog. Wait, you locked it again! Oh, I can't even click it. That was loud. You'll never hear it. Alright. So. Yoink, yoink. Just moving pieces around. This big one in the middle needs to get out of there. That gets those down. Need one of those to go. Okay, so yong 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 yong. Uh-huh. How you doing, chat? You enjoying this game as much as I am right now? What? No! I was about to break it. Ow!
Nothing like a good convent education for honing your lockpicking skills.
Uh-huh. Yep. Quite the lockpicking. But it fell over. This is a quality gate. Oh,
For a room full of junk, that was one very sophisticated lock system. This
Was
place
it?
was definitely fishy. In more ways than one.
Guess it's a bridge now?
I really didn't want to pull the fence back up and risk trapping myself in this place.
Yeah, it's a good point. There's a boat here, but it's not a boat. It's the shape of a boat. I'm gonna push it. Okay.
Oops.
Oops.
Moving the skiff would only damage it more.
Why'd you move it in the first place?
The words sinister and Dexter were carved on either side. Now, any good convent girl like me knows the old Roman for left, right. But what did it mean here?
They do? Okay.
The hole was too small even for my little hand.
Okay, cool. We'll come back to that. I'm gonna look around first.
No handle, nothing obvious. But there had to be a way to open it.
Oh, there's a thing down here.
An old shell case. I wondered what that was doing there.
A shell case.
The brass case was smooth and perfectly round.
Mmm. Does it go in here? How about now? No? Okay. SDSS DSS? Is that what it says?
Rolling out the painted cylinder
Yes.
had given me a print of a secret message. It read, nothing happened.
But
Nothing happened. Nothing.
nothing happened. Oh. There you go.
Mystery solved. Carchon's stone cylinder slotted into the hole with a satisfying click.
Oh. So sad. Okay. So
A satisfying click told me I turned it to the right position. It felt like tumblers in a safe. I must have made a mistake. The mechanism reset.
okay.
A satisfying... Another click. Another step closer.
What did the first one?
I made a mistake. The lock reset.
Oh god, do I just have to...
A sec...
Uh-huh. That looks like an R to me.
Another click.
S.
Another step closer.
Down. What's happening here? Okay, so it's right, left, right, right. Is that what the left is? Right, left, right, right. Left, right, right.
I love the sound of locks clicking open.
That's what the SDSDSSS snake says. In we go. Ooh, fancy. But rubbly? What this? It's the symbol.
Oh my god! The slab came down with a hell of a force.
That's what happens when you start touching stuff.
With nothing to hold it up, the cross dropped back down again.
Fresh plunder. Okay, so I gotta find something to hold it up. Bet my bobby pin will work. Or this casing. Eh. So first we hold it up.
Lifting the cross closed the entrance door and also opened some kind of stone panel. Ingenious.
Is it though? Cause like
The stone cross was propped up. Now I was getting somewhere.
so ingenious. Push the button. It's red.
I touched the slot. Nothing bad happened, which was good. I've always been attached to my fingers. This slot was designed for something specific. But what?
Like a signet or something. Elephant. No. Okay. Doesn't look like there's anything really else around the room, so it's gotta be something in my pocket. No. No. How many will we try? No. Try them all. Please? Does it not work? Sure don't. Okay, maybe we don't do any of these things.
I touched the slot, which was good. This,
But what?
no way would I be able to force the door open.
What we got going on here? Could I like put something there to prop that open?
I removed the shell case.
Uh-huh.
The panel wouldn't move.
Okay. Wonder if there's something like outside I hadn't done. So I kind of just went straight here. So that stays there.
The cross was firmly propped up. A round slot precisely carved into the stonework.
Round slot.
It was the
huh?
beautiful elephant my father had carved. It was a boat ticket stamped Bateau de la Conciergerie.
Is this our first question mark situation? I wonder if there's like if you hold Alt or Control or Tab, it shows you like what things you can highlight. Or you can just spam across the screen, see what highlights. Nope, it's not Alt Tab. Okay.
The cross was firm.
All right, well, let's just see what it does. Oh. It does nothing. Hint 1. What might fit into the hole that was revealed? Hint 2. Did you leave the stone cylinder behind? Go. Okay. Jeez.
The cross.
Okay.
I removed.
We know how that works now. It just straight up tells you.
Ut lex vel ut next sumito. To the law or unto death submit. I guess these people didn't believe in liberté, égalité, or fraternité. Yes, I'll admit it. I was a swot at school. I also wore lipstick and the nuns never knew.
Okay. Yeah, I suppose it's
I
good.
removed the stone cylinder.
It's good to have a system like that because otherwise you're just like running around the desert like in King's Quest V, which I don't want to. So that's cool.
No.
No. Waiting puzzles are the best. Imagine the hint for that. It's like, why not try and wait? Wait for what? Oh, she put the cylinder in.
Slotted into the hole perfectly. Behind the old walls, I could hear some kind of mechanism groaning into life, but whatever had been triggered had now jammed.
Well, let's go unjam it.
The gap was too thin for me to get a grip. I needed something thin enough to prise the door open.
Something thin enough, huh? Guard! Nope.
I was going to need something a lot stronger than a hair clip to free the door.
Okay. How about elephant? They're strong. No. Key.
A hidden door. This was getting interesting. Shame the mechanism jammed. I was going to have to find a way to prise it open.
Wonder if I can take this out now.
I removed the shell case. The cross didn't drop back down.
Wow.
Some kind of mechanism was holding it up.
Cool.
The cross was firmly propped up. The cross didn't drop back down. Some kind of mechanism.
Okay, got my shell casing back.
The gap was too narrow. I needed something flatter to work into it.
I was very much expecting her to just, shrug at me again. I don't understand what I'm trying to do here. I need something flat to lift the door open? Then everything resets. Okay. Oh, maybe I could grab this thing. From the beginning. You grab this, you put it there, and then you do all of this, and then you grab this. Oh my gosh, it was staying up, and then I put the thing in the thing. There's noises going off. I don't know if that's significant or if it's just the music, which you can buy on the main menu of the game. Alright.
A door? They normally are.
What?
A door made out of stone.
Okay. Give me my casing back.
I removed.
Quick, switch these two out. Plug.
Shame. The shell case was too wide.
It's a good idea. There's also this like grate up here, which I feel like is something, but it's probably not. It's interesting, I can only see this when the doors open.
A hidden door. This was getting interesting. Shame the mechanism jammed.
Sorry, having a sneezing fit. Use your journal. Something flat and strong. I feel like I have to do something else with these.
The cross didn't drop back down. Some kind of mechanism was holding it up. No way would I be able.
Okay.
While Cashon's stone cylinder was in the hole, the door back out remained closed.
So if I put stop your action.
The
Okay, you do it automatically. We could put
The
that.
cross did it.
I would like you to okay. I already tried this.
The gap was too narrow.
Something flatter than a casing. I mean, this is pretty flat. Eh. I feel like it has something to do with what this said. The kneeling, blah, blah, blah. Hint me! You'll need something flat and rigid to lever the door open. You have something metal. How could it be flattened? Can you, like, step on it?
No.
No.
No. No.
It's interesting. You can
No.
use things like this,
no.
though. No. What if I put something down there and then let it fall, and that would flatten it? No, I'm stuck on flattening things. Eh. I put something here to get flattened? It's already being held up. Could I flatten this somehow? Do I need to go back out? Let's go back outside. Like a giant stone door, yeah. But I need the casing to hold it up. I did that key? Elephant, I'm sorry. Okay. Yeah. Don't have a piece of metal for that though. Okay, I guess that. But now what am I gonna prop this open with? Guess we'll figure it out when we get there.
The stone slab had flattened one end of the shell case.
Dang it. I don't like that. When you click something, it just does it. You can't interrupt. I suppose that's what I wanted her to do.
No.
Hang on. Okay, so it does the same. Hold! I don't know if that, jingle jangle is saying, hey, you figured it out, or if it's just the music.
I removed the shell case.
Oh, she just needed some leverage there?
Another good use for a shell case.
Okay.
Another secret room. Somebody had something to hide. But was it what I was looking for?
Do I need to grab the cylinder again? Watch me reset the entire puzzle. Can't wait. Oh no.
What are you doing?
Just showing everyone how it's done. You lift that up, you put the crushed casing in, and then you shake it all about.
I removed the shell case.
Alright. Onward. Ooh, cobwebs. This is dark and mysterious.
Wow.
Wow.
Through the darkness, I could see that this was a stateroom. But for what purpose? And how did it tie in with Carchon?
This is where we find the assassins. Light, please. Can't see.
Amazing. The thing still worked. The room lit up bright as day.
I'm hitting the left click and not the right click. The right click does the eye.
It was an old circuit breaker.
Okay.
Like something from a Frankenstein movie.
That was a circuit breaker, apparently. That's the Templar symbols. Oh, map.
The flags had faded, but their message was still pretty clear. Fascist regalia, a message of hate.
Oh dear. Why you gotta walk back to look?
The flags had faded.
Oh. Okay.
Fascist.
What's in the drawer?
It was a drawer. I wondered what was inside.
Uh-huh.
It was pretty clear from the lack of dust
Oh,
that someone had been working very recently
That's
at this
Nico.
desk. Oh my god. The sheet was a printout with my personal information. Everything from my favorite food to my waist size. They were right about chocolate. Come on, guys. I'm a size 10. There was even a picture of me, taken with a telephoto lens. Carchon wouldn't have taken these pictures himself. This was big and organized. I was part of it. And people were getting murdered.
uh-oh, you're next.
The dregs at the bottom of the mug hadn't dried out or gone moldy. It wasn't more than a day old. This was the article I'd written about the costume killer. My suspicions were right. Carchon had cut it out. 2 businessmen had been killed. One in Italy, one in Japan. In each case, the killer had worn a costume. A penguin, and then a snowman. But that wasn't the only link between the 2 murders.
Beware the penguin.
Both the victims had been big media do-gooders, and I proved they were just the opposite. So, how did they fit in with Carchon?
Don't know. Yes, it's a drawer.
It was a...
Open it. Gun. No?
Inside the drawer, I found a note written in some kind of code.
Cool. Oh no. The note has been written using a substitution cipher. This means that a different symbol has been used to represent each letter of the alphabet. To crack the code, you must correctly match all the symbols and their corresponding letters. Highlight a symbol and then highlight the corresponding letter. If you make a mistake, click on the Go Back button to step back, or you can reset the whole puzzle by clicking the reset. Oh my god. Alright. What? So E is that? Like, that's what they want me to do? I guess? Oh, cool. I'm assuming that's not what they want me to do. It's a light show. Oh no. Alright, this is obviously an E. This is an F. Where is it? And then that's an R. Yep. Free! Progress. Okay, that means that's an A. This is totally how we're gonna crack this. But that's supposed to be an E, so rip. How do we... Okay. I bet something is Templar, huh? So... maybe not. Okay. Goodbye. Maybe there's some clues around here that'll help us figure that out without me just trying to brute force it. Or is that the next part of the step?
The desks were covered with a layer of dust. No one had worked here for years. A slot next to the safe door. All I had to do was find something to fit into it. It was like being back in kindergarten. All I needed now was a shape that would fit the slot.
Yeah, we're doing the point and click adventure game. Nope. Something to fit the slot. Like the cylinder I left back outside.
Lady Justice stared out from a stone door, which was locked and reinforced with steel bands.
Oh.
A door like that always has something important behind it. I had to find a way to unlock it.
Yeah. What can I do by this desk?
I wasn't going to find anything in this old desk. It hadn't been used for years.
Okay. I'm gonna have to figure out that cipher, aren't I? Oh no. There's webs, but no spooters. Hang on. Yeah.
Rolling out the painted cylinder had given me a print of a secret message. The cloth was embroidered with an unusual symbol. It was a boat ticket stamped Bateau de la Conciergerie.
What is Sonic Mania? I understand it's a Sonic game, but what does one do? Well, this could be an I. That in N. That in S. Perhaps. Or the other way around, to be honest. In. Just trying to find the symbols down here. Okay, is it a like an actual Sega game or whatever? Okay, so this is an A. And a D, maybe. That's an E. Indeed! Oh, a word! This is a T. I like how when you click this, it shows you what they are. This is an H. This is probably, indeed it seems that So where is it? M. Pat, I would like an M, please. Thanks. There's 3 of them. This is an O. I'd like to buy a vowel. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, I think I've heard of that. All right, so this is an S. Same. No, I already did S. Tame. This is together, so G. What's that symbol? And a loop-de-loop for the R. Take great care. There is 1K. That's totally Z. Indeed, it seems that... Okay. Pierre. Oops. Yeah. Pierre, blank report to... This is too... urgent to wait. W. Report, is this tomorrow? Did I do M already? I already did M. Both dead. Arno and... So, like, these are names I'm not familiar with. Are both dead. This is not a coincidence. Indeed, it seems that blank of us follow. Yeah. That could be it. Full report. Yeah, okay. Full report to follow, but this is too urgent to wait. Arno and Logmata. So if I knew the names, if I went back out and read the names, we could probably do that. Both are dead. This is not a coincidence. Indeed, it seems that all of us who came together in blank are in danger. In... What? Came together in... Okay, so this symbol doesn't exist. These symbols don't exist. It's just these symbols. In July. Yeah, that's a good. I like that. Yamada. Okay. And then this is whatever. It's totally Z.
I had decrypted the note.
Because I knew what the X was. With
Full report to
3.
follow.
Whatever.
But this is too urgent to wait. Arno and Yamada both dead. This is not a coincidence. Indeed, it seems that all of us who came together in July are in danger. Take great care. X.
Could have been Q or V or Z.
I wasn't the only one to make the connection between the costume killer murders. I'd been right all along. That was why he had asked to meet me. But what did I know that he didn't?
I suppose if I was like keeping track of people's names and blah blah blah. Alright. So I can leave now? No, I gotta figure out this thing.
A door like that. Turning the lights off wasn't going to help.
Well, I wanted to. Okay.
That was
So I gotta find a sphere to put in there. My first guess is gonna be my cylinder from outside, but if I take that out, it closes the door. The plot thickens, yeah. Yeah, how would you know, Nico? They're watching you. Okay, I can't like take anything here. I mean, I guess I'm gonna go try to take the thing. I mean, maybe that the lights are on now, the door won't close. Can I put something to prop the door open? So will be a good clue, yeah, I suppose. Give me this. Oh wait, no, heck, she's doing it. Nah! Okay. I'm just looking out here. Ugh, I gotta do this again. Yeah, I think that's just the music, because prop it open with the body. Yeah.
I removed the shell case.
What happens if I just keep it there?
The cross did.
Okay. Lights are on.
A slot next to the safe door. All I had to do was find something to fit into it.
But a key. Yeah. Elephant. No. Pick the lock again.
A door like that. Oh,
Uh-huh. I'm like not. Oh, was this? This is new.
the flags had faded.
No,
Fat.
it's not new. No, dang it.
The flag.
Fat fingers.
Fat.
There was like a blue thing up here, but I imagine that's just for all of it. This is remastered, yes. I was gonna do the original, but it wouldn't capture properly on OBS, and I didn't want to play it on a super small window, so we're doing this instead. Oh.
Damn. Don't you just hate it when that happens?
I mean, what's inside?
A photo, long lost, had fallen down the back of the drawer. It was very old, but there was no mistaking the guy in the foreground. Carchon.
Carchon.
Him with soldiers, a burning village, and a corpse. The photograph was cropped on the right-hand side. Somebody else in the picture obviously didn't want to be in it anymore. I wasn't surprised. This was Africa in the 60s. An uprising was being brutally suppressed. And here was Mr. Media himself, Carchon, doing the suppressing. The photograph was not just powerful evidence. It was also my ticket to one explosive story. I had enough for a story. An amazing story that was going to make my reputation.
All right.
And blow Carchon's to pieces. I needed to get home fast and start typing.
Oh, was this? I'm not getting into the safe? Okay. The safe remains closed. I gotta break the news.
Bonsoir, Collard.
Nico, it's Ronnie.
Hey, Ronnie, you cracked open the champagne yet?
Are you crazy?
What's wrong? Wait a minute. You didn't print it, did you?
Course I didn't print.
That's the best piece I've written.
The last, as far as I'm concerned.
Whoa!
It's important.
Get fired.
It's suicidal. You can't destroy a national hero.
No.
He deserved it.
His corpse isn't even cold.
Ronnie, 2 hours ago I told you what I'd found. You loved it. You begged me to write it up immediately.
2 hours is a long time in newspapers, Nico.
Someone's got to you, haven't
What's
they?
a newspaper?
Listen up, Nicole, and listen good. Pierre Carchon had a lot of friends. Powerful friends. For your own sake.
Forget what happened.
You got it. End of conversation. Good night.
What's this thing?
This should have been my big break, but I knew there was nowhere else to sell this story. If Ronnie wouldn't print it, nobody would.
Oh no. My sleuthing is for naught. I cry. Oh, someone tweeted? What did it say?
Bonsoir, Collard.
Mademoiselle Collard, my name is Plantard. I need to talk to you about your story. Your Pierre Carchon story.
How did you know about that?
There are people out there, madame, who will be very upset by this story.
Oh, really? Well, it's their lucky day. It's been spiked.
Yes, I know.
Yes.
We must meet.
We must?
I have information relating to your costume killer stories. Tomorrow morning, 8 a.m., Café de la Chandelle Verte, Rue Alain Court. I shall be wearing a grey overcoat. You must talk to no one
Like
about
this?
this.
You can't tell me what to...
Tomorrow at 8. I'll be waiting.
People complain about newspaper articles all the time, but not usually before they're printed. I was beginning to feel scared. This guy, Plantard, could I trust him? Should I meet him or forget the whole business? I didn't have an answer.
This is a pretty fancy apartment. Alright, so I think this is where the real game, the actual game starts.
I'd only been in Paris for a week, but already I'd fallen in love with the city.
Oh, Perry.
My latest discovery was a little cafe, La Chandelle Verte. I was pretty sure the waitress was taking a shine to me.
Hey, girl.
That old Stobart charm, I guess.
Free anime.
Little did I know my reverie was about to be so rudely interrupted.
Oh, no. The bistro. It's just bombing in Paris. No big deal.
As I picked myself up, I was really angry. 1 minute I'm on vacation, the next minute some clown's blown me up. I knew right away what I was gonna do. I was gonna find that clown and bring him to justice. Because justice matters. Justice is up there with liberty, and equality, and, fraternity. After all, that's why I'd studied law, wasn't it? Well, that, and the money, of course.
Yep, this is where the demo started, and we didn't have a PC that could play that screen or that cutscene, so we would just be here, and the place would be blown up, and we were like, "Why is this place blown up?" We'll figure it out. Paris vacation, okay. Okay, so they're talking about the guy. Salah al-Din.
I noticed the writing at the foot of the page. It read, Salah ad-Din, 1345.
Okay, maybe the doodle-doos are something.
The big story was about the brutal murder of a French media magnate, shot down in cold blood. The guy oozed confidence, like a regular
Confidence.
French statesman.
There's like old VO mixed in with new VO.
The leading article referred to the visit of a Nobel Prize winner from some unpronounceable Eastern European state. The column was devoted exclusively to rumor, gossip, and sensationalism.
Uh-huh.
The leading article referred to the visit of a Nobel Prize winner from some unpronounceable Eastern European state.
I often read the newspaper after murder attempts. Okay, so in the original version, I was able to click on this lamppost, and he made a very sassy comment about it. And I can't seem to do that in this version. That's interesting.
The table had been overturned by the explosion.
This guy.
I considered straightening the table, but I figured it best not to disturb the evidence.
This guy gives no cares to what just happened. Yeah, I put the newspaper in his coat pocket.
I examined the jagged glass remaining in the window. It was broken, all right.
All right. Or check the shop. Oh no.
It was the body of the old man. It was hard to believe I'd seen him alive only minutes before.
Check his pulse.
The sight of the dead guy's staring eyes turned my knees to jelly. I tried not to meet his stare as I searched the dead man's pockets. No wallet, no papers, no credit cards. The guy's past was a blank page. Apart from a bit in the middle, the mirror had smashed into 1,000 pieces. Bad luck for someone. I'd hoped the fact that the mirror was already broken meant I'd escaped the bad luck.
Okay.
The mirror had smashed into 1,000 pieces. Bad luck for someone. Poor guy.
What? Why am I looking at through? He's right over there. Okay. Anyhow.
He was pretty mashed up.
Uh-huh. It's a weird scene.
He was pretty.
Okay. Sure. Hi, what happened?
The waitress was clearly suffering from shock.
Oh, my head. Never again. How much vodka did I drink? Oh, no, don't tell me. What
What?
is your name, Sherry?
George Stobart, ma'am. You
George.
look like you could use a little help.
I could use a little drink. I feel sick, dizzy, and bruised. I don't even remember the party.
Just relax and take it easy. You've been knocked out.
Yeah, she's like
You don't
concussed.
say. What happened?
There's been an explosion. You should try not to move.
Are you a doctor?
It's crazy that I can renegade or paragon.
Yes, I am. I studied under Dr. Benton.
Who is he?
Only one of the most brilliant medical minds on this planet. He taught me everything
How
I
have
know
you
about
not heard
medicine.
of him?
Can you remember anything at all?
No. I need a drink. Pour me a brandy.
Sure.
Is that straight or with ice?
Just give me the bottle with a teat on it.
I guess a little drop won't hurt.
Yeah, I'm a doctor after all. Jeez.
That's better.
She knocked back the brandy as if it was water.
Alcoholic.
Glad I wasn't picking up the check.
Passed out.
The pretty young waitress was unconscious. Hey, wake up! She didn't respond. If I wanted another cappuccino, I'd have to serve myself.
This place blew up. No one cares. Good. Goodbye. Dr. George. Anyhow, the only
Freeze!
whoa.
Hold it, right there.
Oh,
Oh, don't shoot. I'm innocent. I'm an American.
Can't make up your mind, huh?
in
I
America.
demand to see the American consul.
Drop your weapons and get down on the ground.
Put that thing away, Sergeant Moo.
Yes,
I apologize,
Sergeant.
monsieur, but I cannot permit you to leave.
Am I under arrest?
Ah, no, I would simply like to ask you some questions. En avant, to the café, marche.
Yeah, this was part of, and there's a thing in that guy's
What a
toolbox
mess.
you need.
This bombing is an outrage, is it not?
She's drunk.
Stop that, monsieur.
Has it occurred to you that he may be dead, Moo?
Oui, monsieur. But I prefer to look on the bright side.
Oh, that's
Besides,
nice.
I recall a case where the killer escaped by feigning death. However, in this case, the man is quite dead.
Examine the girl and take her statement, if you can.
I mean, yeah, check the bodies. I felt like he did a good
And
job.
Maintenant, to business. Your name,
This
please?
detective
George
man.
Stobart. I'm from California.
Oh, California.
And what brings you to Paris, Monsieur Stobart?
Travel. I'm touring Europe.
You chose well. The city is most beautiful at this time of year.
Oh no, stuff's
No?
blowing up around me.
Yeah, I guess so. Apart from the bomb blasts.
Were you in the vicinity of the cafe at the time of the explosion?
Yeah, I was sitting out on the sidewalk.
Yeah.
I was lucky I wasn't killed.
Uh-huh.
The inspector passed over my remark with no reaction.
Did you see the deceased enter the cafe?
I did.
Yes, I did.
Was he alone?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And did he say anything to you?
He gave
No,
me a
I
nod.
was more interested in the waitress.
Did you see anyone else in the cafe?
Yeah, there's a clown.
Yeah, there was a guy dressed as a clown. He was carrying an accordion.
An accordion? Bon. The picture is forming in my mind, and it is not a pretty one. Is the girl all right, Moo?
She'll live if she survives the hangover. She says the American claimed to be a doctor. He
Uh-oh.
forced her to drink the brandy.
What?
I can explain everything.
I did no
Can
such
you,
thing.
Monsieur?
Almost everything.
She doesn't remember seeing a clown, monsieur.
That's odd. Don't you think, Monsieur?
Uh-oh.
Who am I to believe? I wonder.
Me?
Eh bien,
Of course.
I have heard enough.
What do you mean?
I am satisfied that you know nothing. You may leave. Enjoy your vacation, Dr. Stobart.
That's right.
What about my personal
I'm
safety?
a doctor.
Can't you at least give me some advice?
What can I say? Stay alert and look out for suspicious characters.
And don't cross the road until the little man shows green.
Great advice.
Thank you.
I honestly believe you are in no danger, Monsieur. Should you remember anything of importance, please contact me. My card.
Oh my god.
Thanks.
That is all. You may go.
There's not much to go on, monsieur.
On the surface, no. But what lurks inside the subconscious? If the door can only be opened.
Are you serious, monsieur? I thought your interest in psychic detection was purely academic.
Okay. Oh, hello. Oh yeah, that's right. You're here now. Yeah, so I kind of remember just going through this real quick because time was running out.
The girl presented a confident but sullen mask to the world, an expression more suited to the face of a delinquent youth. The sergeant was a scrawny man in his 50s who resembled a constipated chicken.
What?
Sergeant Moo?
Ah, Monsieur Stobart, n'est-ce pas?
That's correct. You remember me.
The retention of such data is part of my duty as a gendarme. That is how crime is fought, through attention to detail, not intuition.
Yes, sure.
Yeah, sure. No, she was supposed to meet that guy here this morning. Yeah, so the only reason I know this game exists is because we had a demo disc back in the day, and it would close the game after like 10 minutes of the demo, so we'd try to like go as fast as we could, and this was the first part of it. So we're asking him about people.
I was one of the last people to see the victim alive, Sergeant.
Does that worry you?
Yeah,
Yes,
and
it does.
so
I feel like
hang on.
I owe it to him to find his killer.
That is best left
Oh,
to the
yeah.
authorities, monsieur. Did he speak to you? tell you anything?
I imagine. I don't
No,
remember,
he
to
just
be honest.
grinned and nodded.
Don't let it trouble you, monsieur. Go home and try to forget.
Yeah, in the original version, you start on like this chapter. Those last 2 chapters before this are part of the director's cut.
What is Rosso doing with that girl?
He is giving her the once-over, as you Americans say. Once he gets his teeth into a case, nothing will shake him off.
All right.
I found this in the street, Sergeant.
That, monsieur, is a newspaper, no?
There's a note written on it. Salah Eddin, 1345.
Aha!
That stumped you, hasn't it?
I have never been stumped, as you put it, in my life, monsieur. It is the name assumed by the clown, no?
Salah Eddin the clown? I don't think so.
That was his card. Okay.
See you later, Sergeant.
See ya. Hey, Nico.
Excuse me, mademoiselle?
What up?
Hi. My name's George Stobart.
Oh, an American by the sound of it.
Yep, that's right. On vacation in Paris. Some vacation, huh?
You were here when the bomb went off?
Sure was. Sat right out in front of the cafe.
Did you notice a middle-aged man, maybe 60, with a hat and overcoat?
Oh, I
Couldn't
did.
believe it. She hadn't even asked how I was feeling. Yeah, he went inside just before the bomb exploded. You weren't related to him, were you?
Oh, no, nothing like that. I'm Nicole Collard from La Liberté.
What is that, some kind of nightclub?
Oh, no, it's a newspaper.
You're a reporter?
I'm a freelance
She had
photojournalist.
a smug
Say,
face.
You could interview me about the bombing. An eyewitness account, minutes after the outrage that shook the whole of Paris. You know, real-life drama, human interest,
All
that
right,
kind of
calm
stuff.
down,
I'll
George.
just stick to the facts, thank you. Did you see who planted the bomb?
I know it sounds crazy, but he was dressed like a clown.
A clown. It's him again.
It's who again?
Have you met the clown before?
It's a long story.
I have plenty of time.
I don't.
Get shot down.
Who was the guy you were supposed to meet?
His name was Plantard. I didn't know him, but he called me last night. He said he had a story which would interest me. He asked me to meet him at the cafe. I guess I'll never know what he wanted to tell me.
Well, not unless you have Rosso's gift for psychic interrogation.
Yeah, did you hear he's a
Do
psychic?
you know a police officer called Rosso?
Rosso? Our paths have a knack of crossing. If I didn't know better, I'd say it was deliberate. Have you seen Rosso? Is he here?
He's inside, attempting to question a witness with his psychic powers.
Good.
That guy is weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did Plantard get your name?
Through the newspaper, La Liberté. I'd written an article linking 2 unsolved murders, one in Italy, the other in Japan. The cases were remarkably similar. A wealthy victim, no apparent motive, and a costume killer. Plantard said he could supply me with more information. Somehow the clown must have known about our appointment.
Why won't you tell me about the clown?
Why do you want to get involved?
Because he almost killed me. Isn't that reason enough?
I guess so. Listen,
Fair,
I'll give
yeah.
you my phone number.
Oh, hey, girl.
You help me with my story and I'll let you in on what I know. And let's get one thing straight right now. This is strictly business.
Okay.
Okay, it's a deal.
I have to go develop these pictures. I'll be on soon, monsieur.
Fine. I'll see you soon.
Okay, bye. I can have control again. Hello? Birdies. Oh, there was many a journal entry there. But she did... Had a very cute photojournalist called Nico. She works for La Liberté, some kind of newspaper. She knew something about whoever planted the bomb, but wasn't giving much away. But I got her phone number. Pog. Alright, so the part I remember in the demo is, yeah, you go in
It was a
here
battered metal toolbox.
and there's a sewer key.
Hey!
Oi.
Stop that! Get away from there!
Okay.
What do you think you're doing?
I was admiring your toolbox.
Phrasing?
Howie, had a good look, have you? I'm warning you, if you touch it, I'll crack your nut.
Okay, I get your point.
Okay, so there must be a way I gotta get rid of this guy.
Set into the huge gate was a smaller access door. The door was securely locked.
What up, my guy?
The muscular workman wore a morose expression, like a silent warning to leave him to get on with his job.
Well, I'm gonna talk to you.
Hey, you!
I thought you'd been arrested.
I like his
Nah,
little
it was a misunderstanding.
When he pulled that gun, gah! I thought that was it. Those automatics pack quite a punch, you know?
He made a mistake. He thought I was a terrorist.
You? A terrorist? Ha!
He was only doing his duty, I guess.
Yeah, I'm a doctor.
Did you see an old guy with a briefcase?
Wait, silly old coot. Do you know what he said to me?
Wait.
Work fascinates me, he says. I could watch it all day. Quel bit. I could have knocked his block off.
Did you recognize the old man?
No. Should I have done? Was he a celebrity?
No, but I guess he is now. His name was Plantar.
Was? He's dead then?
Yeah.
That's too bad. Now I wish I hadn't called him what I did. If only I could turn back the clock. If only I'd been more tolerant.
Regret and remorse are strange emotions. They really bring out the hammiest actors in people.
Yeah, hammy.
Did you see a clown come by this way?
A clown? Like in a circus?
Yeah, with makeup and a big red nose.
Oh, those guys are funny, aren't they?
No.
Not in my experience.
I love the circus, especially the horses.
You haven't answered my question. Have you seen a clown?
You think I've got time to watch everyone who passes by? Some of us have to work for a living.
All right, dang.
Look, I know you're busy, but surely you'd have noticed a clown.
I told you already. I didn't see a thing.
He was wearing multicolored baggy trousers and makeup.
He'd be a poor sort of clown if he didn't.
Listen, I have to find that clown.
I'm gonna badger
He's a
this guy
killer.
with clown questions.
Who are you anyhow? A cop?
No, of course
I'm
not.
a doctor.
I mean, do I look like a cop?
No, but you act like one, sticking your nose in where it's not wanted. How do you know this guy's a killer? Did you see him in action?
Didn't you hear the explosion? The cafe was blown
Yeah,
up.
right?
I wondered what that bang was. Any bodies?
Yeah, an old man was killed.
Merde. I didn't think it was that serious. What about the waitress?
Oh, she's fine.
Thank the saints.
What's in the toolbox?
What's in the toolbox? As if you didn't know. What's the big deal about tools, anyhow?
They're cool. Tools are civilization.
They're
You
cool.
don't say.
That's right. Tools are what distinguish us from other animals.
Who are you calling an animal? I've met your sort before. Looking down your nose at me because I'm working class, huh? I've a good mind to knock your block off.
What was that about being tolerant earlier, my guy?
What kind of tools do you keep in your box?
Huh? You really are interested in tools?
Sure, like I said, tools are...
Yeah, civilization. So you keep saying.
So, are you gonna show them to me?
Am I? Why, you?
Aw, come on. Just a little peek.
I've got work to do. Find someone else to bother.
I
Okay.
gotta go.
Don't let me keep you.
Then I took a tool.
Hey!
Okay. Alright, so we gotta get rid of him somehow. Because if we go down this other way, we see evidence of clown. Yeah, George was being a jerk. Yeah, so there's a sewer
Clown
here.
fled into this alley, but there was no sign of him now. I was intrigued by Nico and what she could tell me about the explosion.
And you need a sewer key from the toolbox.
The drain pipe looked as if it would bear my weight. It was a battered old trash can. It smelled like someone had dumped a truckload of fish in a locker room on a hot summer afternoon.
Fish!
It was a plastic crate. There was nothing of interest.
Wake up, wake up.
It was a battered old trash can.
Is there fish in here too?
Fish!
There's a cat. Kitty, no.
I'd had it with sticking my nose into French trash cans. It was an iron cover concealing the entrance to a drain or sewer. The cover was too heavy and awkward to lift with my bare hands. I took a deep breath and prepared to climb the drain pipe.
Why though?
I guess the clown had an escape over the rooftops.
Okay. GG, Flannel. Right, so we scared the cat out of there. Gotta distract this guy somehow. I gotta get in his toolbox! Okay.
The door was set into the huge gate was a smaller access door.
Yeah, so we would play this over and over and over until the 10-minute mark came up. It would shut down, and then we'd have to reset. And essentially try to figure out what we needed to do. I need to
I
talk to you
examined
again.
the jagged glass. The sergeant was... Excuse me.
What do you want now?
I know the identity of the dead guy. His name was Plantow.
Is that so? You knew him, did you?
No, but
We'll know everything there is to know about him soon enough.
I'm trying to be helpful here.
The best way you can help us is to go home, monsieur.
Go,
Look, Sergeant, the inspector gave me his card.
Yes, monsieur. He wants you to advise him if you have any information concerning this case.
Well, I'd be glad to talk with him, but I don't want him working his psycho weirdness on me.
Ah, no, monsieur. You are confusing the science of parapsychology with witchcraft.
Oh, yeah? What's the difference?
We don't do sacrifices.
throw her into the bog.
See you later, Sergeant.
Bye, Sergeant.
I considered...
Alright. How do I get that guy distracted? And what's the deal with that gate door? Or like an alleyway I can go into? Give.
Hi, can you spare a few minutes?
What do you want now?
Toolbox.
Do you have a tool for lifting manhole covers?
Ah.
As it happens, I do.
Cool. Lend it to me, just for a few minutes.
No,
Oh, come on.
no.
No,
Get
no,
your
no,
own.
Let me explain what I'm going to do with your manhole lifting tool.
Let me explain what I'm going to do with my pick.
Oh, hey, forget it. I'll come back when you're in a better mood.
It doesn't get any better than this.
Okay.
Would you like to read my newspaper?
Of course
I
he
haven't
does.
got time to read that. Can't you see I'm busy?
You could read it on your lunch break.
10 minutes is all I get. And if my boss had his way, I wouldn't get that. He'd have me on a drip, so I didn't have to stop to eat.
Oh, take the newspaper and quit complaining.
There we go.
Pah! Look at this. Damn bleeding heart liberals. Pah! Save the dolphins. Catch them and eat them, I say. All that fuss over a bunch of fish. Nah, that's more like it. Look at the size of those. Like champagne bottle corks, no? Ah, what's
Okay.
this? Saladin running in the Prix de l'Arc de Triomphe.
It's a racehorse?
A horse? A legend. Bucephalus reborn, mon ami. Like a streak of lightning she is.
Oh.
Do me a favor, won't you? Keep an eye on my hole. I'm off to put some money on that nag.
What about your toolbox?
Stuff it. Help yourself.
Ah, see ya. Can't be bothered to take a break, but we can just leave this OSHA compliant hole to go gamble.
I'd found just what I wanted. A tool for lifting manhole covers.
And the music swelled. Oh, this is a phone?
Nico Kula.
What?
Hello? It's George.
Oh, hi.
Well, I haven't had a lot of luck.
You found nothing.
No.
Look, I'm very busy right now.
This is a
Call
phone.
me if you have any news, okay?
Oh, yeah, I guess.
Adieu, monsieur.
See you.
Okay, bye. Yeah, so this was the only puzzle I knew about. And then after we got down into the sewer, he pulled out of his pocket.
I lifted the
Where?
cover to reveal what smelt like the entrance to a sewer.
Where'd he put that? And our 10 minutes would be up, and we could never get past this sewer part. And then it would play like the cutscene for the game or something, or a trailer. Yeah, as far as we got.
It was a shiny red plastic ball sat incongruously on the slippery green slimed floor.
Yeah, I remember this, and then there's like pants down here or something. Yeah, PB.
As I picked up the plastic ball, I realized it was intended to be worn. It was the clown's red nose.
Nice.
The nose was hollow. Printed on the inside were the words La Risée du Monde, Paris. It was a bright red plastic nose, part of a clown's costume.
Put it on. No? Okay. Yep, pants ripped. Wow, this is quite the sewer.
I scooped up the sodden tissue. It was cold and greasy, like breakfast leftovers.
Gross.
It was the soggy tissue I'd found in the sewers. It was a small scrap of cloth caught on the rusting spike.
Hey, Baba
I
Neat.
took hold of the scrap of material and unsnagged it from the spike.
We're doing it.
It was the scrap of material I'd found in the sewer.
Who is this man?
Hold it right there, you sewer rat. I knew you'd come back, and now I've got you.
What are you talking about?
You're trespassing. Come out of there, immediately.
That's what I'm trying to do. Give me your hand.
Ha! You won't catch me with tricks like that. Keep your distance, monsieur.
Okay, okay.
Now, what were you looking for?
I'm looking for... Who are these people?
I was looking for a clown.
Huh, ridiculous. Do you really expect me to believe that?
He planted a bomb in the cafe and blew it up.
What? The cafe? Blown up? Mon Dieu! That is awful. And you say the person responsible was dressed as a clown?
That's right. He blew up the cafe, escaped into the sewer, changed his clothes, and came up here.
Ah, mon Dieu! Then, the man I chased, do you think that man and the clown are one and the same?
Well, yes, it had crossed my mind.
Maybe you're the clown.
that still does not explain what you are doing down the sewer. For all I know, you are in league with him.
Oh no, I'm just a tourist.
Most tourists are content with the Eiffel Tower, the Louvre, or the Pigalle. I didn't realize my waste pipes were such an attraction.
Have you been down there? It's amazing. There's arches. Speaking of arches, is this the outside of that construction site? Didn't you hear the explosion? No one seems concerned about this cafe that exploded.
Tell me about the man you apprehended.
What is there to tell? He was a typical criminal type, just like you.
Does the name Plantar mean anything to you?
No, it doesn't. Who is he?
The man who was killed in the cafe. I'm gonna find the guy responsible. I'll find him. Even if it means following him down every sewer in every city in Europe.
Bravo! You need some sensible boots. You won't get far in those stupid sneakers.
Wow. Get wrecked. Yeah, Flannel was, I made Flannel explain to me what rubber ducking was while she was playing Curious Expedition 2.
Do you know the waitress at the cafe?
What? Hey, she isn't hurt, is she?
No, she's fine.
Everyone knows the waitress at the cafe.
A poor girl like her isn't safe with the likes of you roaming the streets.
Can't you understand? I'm not a gangster. I'm an American tourist.
That's what you say.
Was the guy you saw carrying a briefcase?
I didn't notice. Now are you going to leave? Or do I have to call the police?
I guess I'll leave? I don't know.
Do you recognize this material?
I am not telling you anything.
Take a look at this false nose.
I've never seen it before in my life.
Let me show you the contents of my pockets.
What does this tissue mean to you?
Nothing, monsieur. It's disgusting. What on earth possessed you to show it to me?
There is Dragon Sage.
Someone had
Cool.
emptied their nostrils into it.
Gross.
Perhaps you'd like to take a look at my card?
What is this? Inspector Augustin Rousseau? What does that say? Hominoid Division?
A homicide. I think the ink's smudged.
Then you are not a tourist.
Okay, I'm not. I lied to you. And I'm sorry.
Don't apologize, monsieur. You know, I had a feeling there was something different about you. It is your posture, your poise. Oh, yes. There is no mistaking the bearing of a disciplined man. And I should know. I was in the army, you know. When I was your age, I was fighting for my life in the African desert. How can I help you, Inspector?
Oh, he thinks I'm the inspector now? Okay.
Tell me about the man you apprehended.
He was a mean one, monsieur. He grabbed me in an armlock. His face suddenly next to mine. His grip was like iron. But he did not know what he was up against. Oh no. He made a big mistake when he took on one of the desert hyenas.
Yes, I get the picture.
Desert hyena.
Does the name Plantar mean anything to you?
No, it doesn't.
Was the guy you saw carrying a briefcase?
Why, yes, he was. Clutched in his arms like a baby.
That belonged to his victim.
You're not wrong,
What do you
J.
think was
Fort.
in it? Drugs, stolen jewels.
I don't know. But the killer thought it was worth a man's life.
Nothing is worth that, monsieur.
Do you know the waitress at the cafe?
You can't suspect her, surely.
Just answer the question, please.
Yes, I know her quite well.
She's my daughter.
Say. She came to work at the cafe 7 months ago. I look forward all week to the relief she gives me when she visits.
Oh,
Really? So you'd miss her if she wasn't there?
Oh, mais oui. Who else would I find to cut my toenails?
what? What does that mean?
Does this piece of material mean anything to you?
Ah, that is the same cloth as the jacket I found. I'd recognize that pattern anywhere.
Well, tell me about it.
Now, about the jacket you found. Do you have it here?
No, monsieur. One of the sleeves was badly torn, so I sent it for repair. A pity, because otherwise it was a fine piece of quality tailoring. It had the tailor's name inside on the label.
What was
Where
it?
did you send the jacket?
I gave it to an itinerant Romani seamstress.
Just my luck. Was there anything in the jacket pockets?
Not a sou. You know what I think?
Do tell me.
He changed out of the clown suit and cunningly disguised himself as an ordinary person.
Uh-huh.
Looks like I'm up against a mastermind.
Yeah. Tell me more about this jacket.
What was the name on the label?
Ah, it was a foreign name. Todrick, I think.
Did you get the address?
There wasn't one, monsieur. Only a telephone number.
What was it?
Well, I don't expect you to remember a phone number you've only seen once.
74 98 08 59.
You're kidding. That's his phone number?
Yes, that's it. A little trick with numbers that I learned in the desert. I was taught the technique by a Tuareg shaman.
That's incredible.
What?
It comes in handy at the supermarket checkout. Do I get a reward?
Honesty, monsieur, is its own reward.
Yeah, get wrecked.
And I'm glad I do not rely on honesty to pay the bills.
Yeah, I'm not being honest at all. Hey, look at this.
This is what I used to open the manhole cover.
I have one just the same as that, monsieur. I will fetch it if you like.
No, don't bother.
Yes, please.
Oh, it is no bother, monsieur.
Nah, forget it.
Just trying to be helpful, monsieur.
Okay.
I have to be going. Thanks to your help, the citizens of Paris can sleep a little easier tonight.
Vraiment? I was only doing my duty, monsieur. Good luck, Inspector. I hope you catch that killer soon.
I am Dr. Inspector now. Also, I went to law school, I guess, and I'm a tourist.
So the clown had escaped into the sewer, come up into the courtyard, and then slipped back into the street.
Alright, let her flannel.
It wasn't much, but it was more than the cops had got.
Yeah, more than the cops have got. Now I'll call her, girl. Who's this? Who the heck is it? I don't know who these. Whatever. Nico. She's not answering.
Hello, Nico Kula.
No.
Hello? It's George.
Ah, oui.
You said to call if I could help.
Have you any news for me?
You bet. I met a witness who spoke to the clown. And I know where the killer gets his suits.
Yeah.
No kidding. Hey, I'm impressed.
You are? Well, it wasn't easy.
Yeah, to go in a
Why
sewer.
don't you come here to my apartment later this afternoon?
Fine. Where do you live?
361 Rue Jarry.
Okay, I'll come over.
Yeah, what is this? Did they lower it
I was
and then
used to working alone,
dry their...
but I had to admit it felt good with George on the case too. But there were some things I was going to have to do alone, and fast. I needed the answers to some questions. Who was the costume killer? And why did he murder Carchon? Why did Carchon ask for me to interview him? How did he know my father? And why was my editor so scared? There was some kind of secret war going on out there.
Secret
But who was
war?
on which side? One thing I did know. I wasn't going to get the answers sitting at my desk.
Sure wasn't. Amazing. This text is so small. Alright, cool. Well, that's a good enough place to stop there. We had a bunch of questions. We'll figure out the answers next time. Let's go like this. Save game. And yeah. Story's interesting enough already. I'm excited to see how this concludes. Yeah, that's Broken Sword, the Shadow of the Templars. We'll continue it. I'm thinking probably Thursday night. I'll be busy tomorrow, and I could maybe do it Wednesday night. I'll let you know in my Discord. In the meantime, we'll find a raid target here. Oh, sorry, Meowmix. Did have a good stream. I'm about to put the VOD up for it. And then, yeah, like I said, we'll continue on, I think, Wednesday night. Hey, DT got a new controller. Let's go cheer him on. He's playing some Splunky too. We'll probably do that tomorrow morning as well. Alright, I'm out here. Have a good one.